Good morning. This is Monday 7:07. I am so excited to get into this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Let's do this. Now, this week, I'm talking to you about your comeback. And every one of us goes through some seasons when you're out of balance, when things are out of the place where they're supposed to be. So, you know how things usually are, how you usually are when everything is at an even keel, when everything is flowing exactly the way it's supposed to flow. You know how you usually are. You know how it feels when you've got your rhythm. But sometimes we fall on our face and getting back up feels so messy. And you're on that place where you're in the middle of a comeback. That's the person I'm talking to today. And you're wondering why it feels so out of balance. And this is me. When I start coming back to myself, I've got so much going on that it's not easy to keep everything in balance. And many times when I start fighting and I start pushing myself, I find myself, I'm saying, okay, fine, I'm going. Have you ever seen a vehicle that's about to have an accident? Have you ever been behind a vehicle that is swerving, maybe with a drunk person or maybe someone who's a learner or someone who's just lost their rhythm on the road, and that vehicle is swerving from the right to the left, and you look at the guy, he goes off the road, he goes on the curb and then drives for a while, you're like, oh, he's going to roll, and then he goes right across the road, goes to the other side. That's me. That's me right there. One moment I'm looking at my career and I'm like, okay, yes, I'm fighting with this, I'm fighting with my work, and I'm making sure that I'm on top of my work. This is me coming back. Next thing, I get a phone call from my family. Hey, boss, we are not seeing you. What's going on? My kids are saying, we are not seeing you. And I find myself swerving back to this side. I'm like, okay, I need to spend time with my spouse. I need to spend time with my kids. And I'm there and I'm fighting. And then one thing, hey, boss, what's happening with your schoolwork? Your grades are falling because I'm swerving. I don't know if you feel me. You're swerving from one side to the other, and when people look at you, you're like an accident that's about to happen. When you look at you, you're like an accident that's about to happen. And you keep asking yourself, man, am I ever going to get it right? And I want to tell you this, you're on the upswing. You're on the comeback. You're on the process that's going to bring you back to the mountain top. And it may be messy. Comeback is messy. That's the part they don't tell you. That's the part the movies don't tell you. Comeback is messy. It is mucky. It is start-stop. It has no rhythm. It is slippery and slidey. It is 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It is people looking at you from behind and saying, this guy is going to mess up. You are swinging from one extreme to the other. In the middle of my comeback, I can get an A+ in a particular area of my life, and the very next minute, I'm swinging to an F in a different part of my life, or even in the same part, and you feel like pulling out your hair because you're thinking, man, am I ever going to get it right? And I want to tell you this is your comeback show. This is your comeback process. This week, as you are attacking and getting back to the place where you're supposed to be, you may not have rhythm, but you've got fight. You may not be perfect, but you've got passion. Anybody can fly a plane at 30,000 feet. If you're in a plane, that's a time when it's on cruise mode, when you pick the kids and bring them to the cockpit to say hi to the pilot and hold the steering wheel and look cool. Anybody can do that. But let me tell you, when it's time for takeoff, then I'm fighting to get this thing off the ground. That's the time you say, everybody sit down. Don't even go to the toilet. Buckle your seats. Don't even talk. Put your seats on upright mode, because at this moment, this is crunch time. And some of you are on the upswing in your life. You're on crunch time in your life, and it may look messy. It may not look pretty, but that's the process. And I want to tell you, my friend, get back up. Don't stop just because you feel like you don't have your rhythm. When you get to the mountaintop, everybody will be asking you, how did you do it? People will be wondering, how did you make it to this place? And I want to tell you, it doesn't matter if it's for a day. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take. It's sweet at the mountaintop. And if you think I'm sweet at the mountaintop, you should have seen me at the bottom. If you think that I'm cool at number 1, you should have seen my comeback game. Because I may be sweet at the mountaintop, but I'm a beast at the bottom of the mountain. And some of you, you need to discover your beast, because greatness is about the comeback. Anybody can do number 1, but not many people can do beast mode at the bottom. Not many people can fight at the bottom when nobody can see you, when nobody sees the end of the movie. Not everybody can fight when people cannot see whether or not you're going to succeed. And right now, I know you can't see the future. You can't see whether it's going to end up right. But I want to promise you that if you keep fighting, if you keep pushing when people don't believe in you, even when you feel like you don't believe in yourself, if you keep pushing, when you get to the top, it's gonna be worth it. So listen to me closely. This is your week. This is your moment. This is your movie. You wrote the script. This is your movie. You are not dying until it's done. You are not dying until the credits roll up, until you get to the very top. You'll be sweet at the top, but you have to fight at the bottom. This is your comeback. Trust the process. Thank you for watching YNL. Keep growing. Stay inspired. Let's do this.